So hi, this is Mark at Skywagon Podcast, and we do this as we get in interesting people to talk about various aspects of aviation or careers and things that are interesting. So today we've got in Sergey who's from Russia, not the Kazakhstan.
Yeah, pretty close.
Nice. So Sergey flies. He's a pilot. He's professional. So how did you get into it all, or how did it start?
Well, I've been flying professionally for the last 25 years, and it's we first came to this country in 1992.
How did you get here?
Just defected.
Did you really?
When the Soviet Union falling apart, and I bought the tour to the United States, and basically didn't come back.
But knowing you were going to do that?
I was on the edge, but once I came, I just stayed. $300 in my pocket. No English, no friends, no family. Spent first 2 weeks on a bench in New York, sleeping.
Really?
Yeah.
Homeless?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
But everything works out.
But did you have flying in your blood then? Did you know you came here to fly?
No.
So you didn't fly a yak over the border or anything?
No, I wish. MiG-31, no. And so then everything worked out somehow, and I got legalized and got my green card in 96 through my sponsor, the job I did.
That's what I did.
Yeah, and then was coming back, driving past Republic Airport on Long Island, and saw the little plane. So I just pulled over, look at the fence, guy doing the pre-flight, and he's like, "Oh, you interested? There's a gateway there. Just go around."
No way.
And, go around, and he let me sit in the plane, and that's how it all started.
How old were you then?
20, I want to say 25.
That was your, and what, do you remember what it was?
It was a Tomahawk.
No.
Yeah. And he goes, "Well, if you're interested, just go. You can get a demo flight." And that's how it all started. And I got my private pilot in New York while I was living in New York, getting my green card and getting legalized. And so got my private in 96.
Really?
And,
That's after me.
Yeah. 1996, got my private, and then I stopped flying for a while.
How are you paying for it, though?
Washing dead bodies.
What?
Seriously?
Where?
Well, the sponsor for my green card, it was the funeral home.
No.
I ended up working in a funeral home, did embalmings and makeups and all kind of stuff, and that's how I pay for my flying, and they helped me to legalize. So.
Oh, okay.
And once I got my green card and got my private, I moved out of California, moved to California, and stopped flying for about 2 years.
But were you flying because you were recreationally flying, or did you?
I never thought I'm going to be flying professionally.
Oh, really?
I was just liked airplanes and got the private, but then things got another job, just worked at the restaurant in Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
And was making good money as a waiter.
Tips,
yeah. And
could you speak English by now?
very, very little. Still have problems.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I made good money, and then next day it's all gone for the flying lessons. Made good money, and next day it was gone. So I was going full time. Basically, got my instrument trading. CFI, commercial, CFI, II, MEI, multi-commercial instrument, and my timing in aviation is horrible though, so it's as bad as it gets. So got all my hours, 1,200 hours, and it's 2001, filling out my application.
Oh no.
And literally as I'm filling it out, applications, watching kind of TV, and I'm like, what is it, horror movie? And I see 9/11 happening
Oh
on
my
TV
God.
that day. So obviously everything went to total halt, right? In aviation
Nothing
industry.
flew for 2 weeks after that.
No. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm screwed now. So, and by that time I was instructing. I was a very busy flight instructor in Silicon Valley.
Which airport?
Palo Alto and San Carlos.
Oh, yeah,
both
okay.
Airport. And but that year, at the end of the year, I got hired by Ameriflight. So it's a cargo company.
Oh yeah, Navajos.
Yeah, well, I got hired into the Lance. So it's a single engine You're single pilot, and good experience though. And so I flew lands.
What did they do, Ameriflight?
Back then, it was not much. It was banks, mostly Bank of America, big banks.
Flying checks?
Flying checks.
At night?
At night, or during the day, or sometimes different cargo, but mostly checks, cancel checks. And so I flew that for a year and a half. Still no progress in hiring.
And how many hours have you got by now?
That time, well, I got good like 600-700 hours, and it's Part 135. So then I got transferred to Navajo and Chieftain, so I flew that. Got my multi-type.
No windows on it.
No windows.
Those are they're everywhere. Those.
And you're very demanding planes, 350 horse, turbocharged per side. And the training was great. They're so hard on you because you're the only pilot. You don't have any backup, right? And
so you got
all kind of weather and crazy conditions and all round dials, right? All VOR.
And this was in the mid '90s. No, this was mid 2000.
2002. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was no big color IFR moving map GPSs yet.
GPS was just starting coming out.
Yeah.
So I flew that. Still no progress was hiring. A year and a half later, I got all my hours, Part 135 experience, multi-engine. I quit and went back to flight instructing. Much better money, Silicon Valley. At that time, Google was going public, so all my students was Microsoft, Googlers.
They're all 18 years old, but millionaires.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Literally. I was, anyway. In 2006, I got hired by Regional Airline. Flew that for 14 years.
And what sort of plane?
It was all CRJ, 200, 700, 900. And
what, for the people who don't know what that is that a multi-engine turboprop?
It's a it's a turbojet.
Jet, okay.
Yeah, it's two engines, and they're from 50-seater to 76-seater, between 700, 900, and 200. So I got hired in 2006, and guess what happened in 2008? Big economic crash.
The recession, yeah.
Recession. So nobody hiring freeze again, but at least I got in. Took first available upgrade. Took me 5 years.
Did you stay on with them through that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But usually the upgrades were like 2 to 3 years. My first available upgrade was 5 years. So took the upgrade, transferred to ERJ. I flew ERJ for last.
So what is that?
It's a it's a nicer plane, very modern. It's still regional though, 76 seats.
76 seat.
Right.
Twin engine, full jet.
Twin engine, full jet. Yes. So became Czech airman for the last.
Sorry, are you co-pilot or captain?
Oh, captain at that point.
Were you captain before that too? In the plane before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just did the transition.
Yeah, okay.
So I upgraded in 5 years, and I total was at the regional for 14 years.
Oh.
Flying for United Express, Delta Connection. So basically we're flying for Delta, United, and American.
But by now you knew you wanted to fly.
Yeah, by that point I'm thinking, I like it.
Good.
A lot. So, and in 2020, again, talking about bad timing, I got hired with the major airlines. So, and then COVID happened. That was the scariest time. I never see the airports like this. Empty airports, cancel flights. We had some flights with 2 people.
Really?
And we're talking 175 people airplane has 2 people.
Why would you still go?
You go.
Because the plane's needed at the next.
Right. Because it's a scheduled carrier, Part 121. Even if it's empty, you have to go. So company was losing, well, everybody was losing huge amount of money, but now things getting better. So
you're still, you can't say the name of the company, but you're still with a major airline.
Major airline flying
now.
737s.
Yeah. And what's it like? I mean, if somebody's watching this thinking, I want to do the route and work for the airlines, what would you say to them?
Don't. Become the doctor or lawyer. It's a lifestyle, you know. It's a lot of people without at regionals, they think it's glamorous, and it's a lifestyle. If you're used to the lifestyle, not being home, and then it's for you. Traveling and.
But when you're pretty senior now, and you're a captain.
No, I'm still first officer.
Oh, yeah?
At the majors, it's especially at this airline, it takes years and years to upgrade. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking I'll upgrade within next year, probably.
So are you working like 30 days a month, 10 hours a day?
More like 15 hours a day, and no. It's different between the regional and the majors. We have a great contract, so I'd say average I have between 18 and 22 days off a month.
Off.
Off, yeah. And obviously survivable money.
Yeah.
So
And then do you have another job you want to do and the part-time keep busy?
not really, but we'll see. If I have too much time, and maybe I'll do something else. But
So, but all the way through the bigger and bigger planes up to where you are today, have you always wanted to own a small plane? Because you currently own a Mooney M20F that we did.
Right.
We did that video on it. It's on here.
Well, you know, for me, it's a commuting vehicle. All I do is literally commute from like where we're at right now, and I live in Bay Area in San Francisco.
So across California.
That's it. So 3 hours driving with no traffic versus 38 minutes flight. So immediate cost is cheaper. So I'm burning 7 gallons maybe, 6 gallons.
Yeah, in 38 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm right there in the middle.
If you put those 6 gallons into a Toyota Prius, would you get there?
Probably not. So it's and plus you don't pay tolls. You never hit the traffic, obviously.
That saves.
Downside, if the weather is bad, I don't push it. So
Right.
I'm not mission driven. You know, that's
No.
how people get in trouble.
So you'll drive when you have to.
Oh yeah, if I have to, I'll drive. But it's very convenient, and the reason I got the plane, and it's very convenient. So it's just a Honda Civic, you know, just
Yeah.
going back
A
and
to B,
forth.
efficient, fast.
That's it, yeah.
So is there any, I always ask people this towards the end of these chats, is there any event that you've had in flying that you could tell the story about and so people could learn from it? Some sort of, we haven't even rehearsed this, so it's like top of your head.
Not really. Never got scared. Never got fingers crossed. You
Touch
know.
wood.
Yeah, never. Nothing happened. And by now I have, I want to say 18,000 hours.
Oh, do you?
Between 17 and 18,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I learned 5 years before you, and I only have 5,500 hours.
Well, you know, the airlines, you're wrecking hours quickly. So.
So what would you think then is the key to getting a career as long as yours with that many hours, being as safe as you are? What's the key to just not having an event?
To recognize that chain of events and stop it, right? So don't push it. Once it starts snowballing, it's hard to stop, and that's how accident happens. So if the weather deteriorating, don't continue, right? That's the first chain. Next thing you know, you got little something else happen. You turn around, but the weather closed behind you, or so chain of events and being mission driven. Oh, I have to go.
You
I
don't.
have to go. You don't. So that, and of course experience and a little bit of luck. So I know some people who had 2 engine failures and all kind of stuff, and landed on the field, but fingers crossed so far I didn't have any little stuff, you know, like working for the regionals. We got the bleed air duct, which is potentially dangerous. So it's a pipe basically, it runs through the leading edge of the wing, providing hot bleed air from the turbine to de-ice the wing.
Oh, yeah.
So it just got snapped, and the hot air at 800 degrees was pouring out into the wing. So you have to react immediately, otherwise it'll melt the wing, melt the aluminum.
Is there a light that comes on?
Oh yeah, of course, you got all kind of bells and whistles yelling at you, right?
So what do? Shut that off.
Shut down the bleeds, right?
And then you're not de-iced.
the weather was good when it happened, but you're not pressurizing. You just shut the bleeds down from the turbine, so now you cannot pressurize. So it happened in Houston. We're going Houston to DCA, to Washington D.C., and on the climb out at about 17 to 18,000, we got that warning that bleed air duct. So we shut the bleeds and slowly start depressurizing. So we turn around, come back, landed in Houston uneventfully.
Oh, so that's a turnaround event.
Oh yeah, you have to return, like land now.
Oh.
And more importantly, you have to descend now, below 10.
Because of the pressurization.
Uh-huh. You're bleeding out the cabin slowly, right? So the cabin normally would be at 6 to 7 psi at that point, and you see on your gauges that the cabin slowly going down, right? And that once it's reached 10,000 or 12,000 psi, the mask's gonna drop. Or 12,000 feet pressure altitude, the mask's gonna drop.
So when you're below 12,
oh yeah,
they won't.
Then yeah, but you have to go down.
Oh, even when you're descending.
Oh yeah, still bleeding.
Oh.
Yeah, but once you're below 10, the pressure is stabilizes between the cabin and outside.
And outside, yeah.
Now you're okay. So.
Wow.
But other than that, I didn't have any major.
Good. Well, that's the aim.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you sit around a campfire with them, with a load of pilots, and everybody's got a story.
Exactly.
It's
but
good
as far as career, somebody wants to become the pilot. If you're goal-oriented and driven, just do it. Right now, it's a great time. Shortage everywhere. Well, now.
What do you think about automation, though? Is it getting to the point where would you ever get in an airliner that doesn't have a pilot in it?
Not. Yeah, you want somebody. To have
Yeah, you
that.
need somebody. There's always going to be pilots.
Right.
Even though
automation can fail, right? Or
Yeah.
Could be solar flare, whatever, right? Everything shuts down, then it goes down to the pilots. So.
Good. Well, Sergey, interesting. And thanks for letting me chat to you. Thanks for letting me sell your plane for you.
Yeah, Mark, I bought it from you, and then I was selling it, and I'll think about what next I'm going to get.
All right.
So,
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for coming in. Interesting.
Of course.
So this is Mark at Skywagon Podcasts talking to Sergey Kriksin, who's given us a bit of insight into the airline careers. Thanks for watching. If you like it, there are others of these. We'll be doing more. And also, if you know a story of your own, or you've got a career or something that's interesting where you'd like to come in and do this, contact me and we can organize it. And if you like these, subscribe along the bottom and click on the bell for notifications. But thanks for watching, and Sergey, thanks very much.
Of course. Thank you, Mark.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. I like.